cheering in the crowd. Dice promise updates, but the damage was done. A shadow of its legacy, where was the fun? Hazard zones forgotten, breakthrough broke apart. Portal had the promise, but couldn't find its heart. But now they're teasing the next big thing. Can they rebuild the battlefield and make it sing? 18 months to fix the pain, patch by patch, but the scars remain. A player base lost, trust betrayed. Can the next one bring back the good old days? We remember the battles from bad company to 3, the teamwork, the moments, the glory we'd see. Can they bring back the magic, the camaraderie? Or is it just another dream lost to history? Can the next one bring back the good old days? So here's to the future, to hope once again. Will battlefield rise or just cause more pain? The battlefield's calling, but will we hear the sound? Only time will tell if redemption can be found.
Yeah, money talks, we listen. Empire moves, but what about the mission? 50 billion, yeah, they bought the vision. Yeah, investors in the boardroom, suits pressed tight. Counting green, flipping scripts overnight. Guns and football, yeah, that's the call. But what about the stories that we love most of all? Bioware legends now, whispers in the hall. Studios bending to the profit, feeling small. Kushner at the table, PF in the mix. Even the Saudis are now in the mix. Players in the chat like, yo, what's the fix? Empire moves, money calls the shots, but the heart of the game is tied up in knots. Investors rule, but we still play. Holding hope while the cash takes a day. Empire moves, who's really in control? They count the billions, but who owns the soul? Who owns the soul? Who owns the soul? Who owns the soul? Every AAA title, every indie grind. Now waiting spreadsheets, creativity confined. Promises whispered, nothing will change. But corporate hands don't play the game. The fans remember nights we stayed up late, exploring worlds they might try to desecrate. Passion can't die, it's coded in the heart. But will it survive when profit tears it apart? Empire moves, money calls the shots, but the heart of the game is tied up in knots. Investors rule, but we still play. Holding hope while the cash takes a day. Empire moves, who's really in control? They count the billions, but who owns the soul? Who owns the soul? Who owns the soul? Who owns the soul? $50 billion, but what do we lose? Stories and worlds replaced by corporate cues. Gamers still grind, we don't bow, we resist. Creators to dream, still pushing the twist. Legacy over ledger, that's how we survive. The heart of the game keeps the stories alive. Empire moves, but we're still in the fight. Playing for the passion, not just the night. Empire moves, money calls the shots, but the heart of the game is tied up in knots. Investors rule, but we still play. Holding hope while the cash takes a day. Empire moves, but the soul still whole. Gamers and creators, they own the soul. Ooh, they own the soul. Gamers and creators, they own the soul. Empire moves, money calls the shots, but the heart of the game is tied. Empire moves, money calls the shots, but the heart of the game is tied up in knots. Empire moves. Empire moves.
You smile wide in the keynote light.
talk about passion, art, and pride. We believe in people in every voice. Right before they cut the staff, no choice. Your favorite game just hit a high. Record profits, stocks in the sky. Then the devs get pink slips through the door. Tell me, what the hell are we cheering for? Nothing means anything anymore. Truth's just branding dressed in metaphor. They rake in billions, then ask for more, while burning down the hands that built the core. Nothing means anything anymore. They sell you dreams with a world premiere, but every trailer hides the fear. Crunch time silence, sleepless nights, so suits can shine in neon lights. They say we're like family, we care, we grow, then toss you out for the quarterly show. And when you speak, they'll spin it again. Your feedback matters, just not to them. Nothing means anything anymore. Lies and layers on a showroom floor. They'll break the soul just to please a board, then clap their hands like they deserve awards. Nothing means anything anymore. We're not bitter, we're just awake. Tired of giving more than they take. If this is progress, then count me out. 'Cause all they build now is built on doubt. We value transparency. We're committed to diversity. We're excited for the future. Then lay off half the damn studio. What a joke. Nothing means anything anymore. It's all a lie wrapped in a friendly store. They kill the spark just to please the score, then wonder why we don't care no more. Nothing means anything anymore. So don't talk change if you won't bleed. Don't preach love if you lead with greed. We see the rug behind the doors, and nothing means anything anymore. Yeah, yeah. I used to say, nah, not my thing. Extraction games, man, they all felt the same. Run, loot, die, rinse, repeat. Leave with nothing but defeat. But then I saw the lights from the sky, metal beats fall, and I had to try. Booted up our raiders, thought one quick round. Now I'm lost in the sound of that battleground. The dust kicks up, my pulse starts to raise. Every drive feels earned, not a waste. Didn't think I'd stay, but here I remain. Embark, built a world that changed the game. I was done with the grind, but they flipped my view. Now I'm flying high with my radar crew. The quality hits, the polish shows. Embark made a game and it truly glows. They didn't fake it, they didn't sell hype. They built a dream and got it right. Yeah, I was wrong, I'll say it today. Our creators blew me away. Our creators blew me away. Every raid, a new story to tell. Blast of fire and chaos. Oh well, the skybox, man, it feels alive. Retro future, keeping dreams in drive. Not a cash grab, not a scam in disguise. They respect my time, and that's the prize. No empty promises, no broken core. Just pure gameplay I've been waiting for. The world feels real, the danger's true. Each fight's a moment that pulls me through. Didn't think I loved this fight, but Embark brought the thunder and light. I was done with the grind, but they flipped my view. Now I'm flying high with my radar crew. The quality hits, the polish shows. Embark made a game and it truly glows. They didn't fake it, they didn't sell hype. They built a dream and got it right. Yeah, I was wrong, I'll say it today. Our creators blew me away. This ain't your average soulless clone. This is skill and passion carved in stone. Embark delivered, they broke the mold. No filler, no lies, just pure gold. Now I'm dropping down, I'm in that zone. One more run before I head home. Used to doubt, now I can't delay. Our greatest all night, all day. I was done with the grind, but they flipped my view. Now I'm flying high with my radar crew. The quality's real, the vision's clear. Embark's the studio we needed here. They made a game and they're selling a game. Not chasing clout, not playing the same. Yeah, I was wrong, I'll proudly say. Our creators blew me away. Didn't like extraction, guess I do now. Embark did it right, I'm a raider for life.
Day one hype, they sell us life. Cinematic trailers, no gameplay inside. 60 bucks down, what do we find? Another patch, no grind, wasting our time. We're tired of paying full price for shame. Same old cycle, we're done with the blame. Stop buying broken buggy games. Don't feed the fire, don't play the games. Vote with your wallet, break the chain. Stop buying broken buggy games. They'll promise fixes, the patch is near. But we've heard that same song year after year. Glitches, crashes, loot box schemes. They're cashing out while killing our dreams. There are plenty of games you've never tried. Hidden gems waiting, worlds open wide. You don't need new just to have a good time. Skip the hype train, the choice is mine. It's not on us to pay for their sins. Don't let the cycle keep rolling again. Stop buying broken buggy games. Don't feed the fire, don't play the games. Vote with your wallet, break the chain. Stop buying broken buggy games. Hey! 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 We hold the power in what we choose. Together buying broken buggy game. Wake up to the sound of the daily grind. Morning laughs and news you'll find. Coffee strong and music plays. Kicking off these early days. The daily grind will blow your mind. Stories shared and jokes unwind. Moving up your morning time. Join the fun in the daily grind.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Dirty NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Arc Raiders. They had another update. Basically, they're going to be adding a duo matchmaking, and they're doing a store update. So we're going to watch. We're not watch that. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Arc Raiders uses generative AI for voice lines trained on its paid actors. So what it says. Let's talk about where we draw the line. And there was also included in that is a Eurogamer review that basically knocked down 60 points because of the AI voice, right? Not even judging the game on the game. They love everything about the game, but because it has AI voices in it, they knocked down 60 points basically and gave it a 2 out of 5 or a 40 out of 100, whatever you want to, the way you want to look at it. So we'll talk about that a little bit. We're also going to talk about Marvel Rivals Season 5 introduces Gambit and a new support Rogue and more, while also key feature players have also begged finally have arrived. So we'll talk about that as well. And then we're going to watch a video called Streaming Crushed Piracy and then Brought It Back by Accident. This is from a video from a YouTube content creator called Not General Knowledge, which I think might be AI voiced, but it doesn't really matter. It's I was watching the first couple of minutes of it, and I was like, you know what? We're going to watch it because it talks about streaming, and it has a lot of connection points to what's happening to the video game industry right now. So appreciate it very much. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you like what I do. We do this again Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you're watching over on Twitch, hit that follow button or hit that subscribe button. Either way, we do appreciate you very much. If you're here for 1 minute, 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour, I do appreciate you. What's going on, chap? What's going on, Jason? What's going on, Travis? What's clips? Juby, what's going on? Big Mad Mo. Let's see who else is here. Aku, good morning. Robert Jones, good morning. Roic, good morning. Sarge, good morning. Dolphin, good morning. Argus, good morning. Jesse, what's going on? Bat, how's it going? You have 105 hours in Arc Raiders now? Jesus. No life in it. No life in it. All right, so yesterday, if you guys missed it, I did a little experiment, right? I did a little experiment. I don't know what I got from it, but we're going to talk it out, right? So, Arc Raiders last night, we played Arc Raiders, and we played basically passive. We played 12 rounds or 12 raids over 3 hours and 20 minutes, and I went in with nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing. I went in with no shields, no augments, no weapons, no grenades, nothing. No meds, absolutely nothing. Okay? I went in with 0 items on my person and came out every single time with stuff. Good stuff. Blueprints. I got like 4 blueprints last night. Okay? We basically went in and I came up with the Speranza delivery service, which is the SDS. Okay? I went around, looted some stuff, and I would run around and run up to people. Okay? It was all solo play. Ran up to people, gave them stuff, interacted with people. We had people that helped us more times than not, right? We had other people that would shoot on sight for the person next to me, but they would not kill me because I did not have a weapon. Now, a lot of people are talking that maybe there's some sort of matchmaking okay? Right? Like, is it where you go in with a full loadout? Do you go up against other people with a full loadout? Do you go in, if I had nothing, do I go up against other people that have very low level gear? I don't know. I can't prove that. They deny it. They say that's not what it is. It just match makes you with people. But the experiment last night, man, let me tell you, it was a blast. And when we talk about Arc Raiders, or take Arc Raiders out of it. Take Arc Raiders out of it. When we talk about video games, okay, this is why people don't understand why Bethesda games are beloved, even though they're broke, buggy, unfinished, okay, glitchy as hell, because they let you play the game how you want to play. Arc Raiders is a extraction shooter, okay? But you can play the game how you want to play. It's a fun game, and when it comes down to it, a fun game is a fun game. Like, fundamentally, if the game has good mechanics or it's just fun to play, then you can play it. Doesn't matter what you do in it. Doesn't matter if I'm in Skyrim taking all the books, throwing them in a room, if I'm, murdering all of the NPCs in the game. It doesn't matter, right? In Arc Raiders, you can literally do what you want. Last night, I chose to not shoot a bullet, right? One guy gave me a weapon with no bullets. Actually, it had a couple bullets in it, but I gave it away to somebody else because I didn't want to have a gun on me. Another person said, "Why don't you have a gun?" I said, "I don't want a gun because then they'll think I'm a threat." And it proved itself about 3 minutes later when we were in the dam board, and the person that was helping me got shot in the face because they had a gun in their hands and I had nothing. And the guy looked at me and left me alone. Okay, I could run around pretending I'm somebody completely different. I could role play in the game. This is exactly why Grand Theft Auto has made so much money over the years, not because of the single player game. It's because of what it turned into, okay, after the fact with online. Okay, Grand Theft Auto Online blew up into this big thing with role-playing. People played the game how they wanted to play the game, and that is the way it just worked, right? You don't know, like, people are role-playing in Helldivers and stuff like that, right? That's why Helldivers, it's a good fundamental game, but people are playing the game how they want to play, okay? They want to go in and pretend there's some people. There's a guy I saw a clip of last night. There's a guy who speaks in Old English, and he protects people that come to the extraction point. He's like, "Hiri, right? He's like the swamp goblin or something, like whatever his name is. Like, he's the protector of this location. And anybody that tries to extract during the actual game, he runs out and says, 'I will protect you. Go.'" And they go inside the thing, it closes up, and he sits there and protects the next person. It's funny stuff, man. It's funny stuff. But last night was a blast. I went in with no weapons, no nothing, only died once, and I died to a fireball, okay, and then threw myself down an elevator shaft. But for 3.5 hours, nobody shot me. Nobody killed me. I didn't die, and we just had a really good time last night. So go check out that video over on 30 and Still Gaming. All right, so talking about Arc Raiders, okay, talking about Arc Raiders. We were just talking, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I said to Luke, I said, "Man, I wish they added a duo," right? And obviously, they didn't want to add a duos. But the market asks for what the market wants, and the player base wants a duo matchmaking. So Arc Raiders listened to the people and said duo matchmaking and store update. Okay, it says, "Hello, Raiders. Here's a quick update for a few areas of discussion of the community and the actions we've taken. Duo matchmaking. We've slightly tested and enabled duo prioritizing matchmaking. Beginning earlier this week, duo matchmaking will work like this. First, we prioritize solos and squads to play separately. After that, we prioritize duos to play with other duos, and for trios to play with other trios. Please note that this is not a 100% guaranteed system, so you may also at times run into differing collision of players other than your own, right? So you might have 3 people, but most of the time, if you're duos, you're going to be put with duos, okay? It says store cosmetic prices, okay? And this is my biggest discrepancy with this game, is the amount of the prices for a $40 game. It's not a free-to-play game. It's a $40 game. And they have $22 microtransactions. And let's be honest, the skins are not the greatest, right? We're not talking like Marvel Rivals quality of skins here, okay? It says, "We've heard your feedback. We reviewed our prices and made an adjustment to lower prices where acceptable." Okay, revised prices will go live tomorrow, Thursday, the 13th at 10:30 CET for any raider who have already made purchases on the older pricing will compensate you for the difference. These Raider tokens will be refunded back to your account automatically in the coming week. Okay. First of all, I don't know how much they're lowering it. They'll probably lower it maybe $3. Okay. So if it's like 22, it'll probably go to like the 20, maybe 18, something like that. Okay. But the fact that, now obviously they're not giving your money back. They're just giving you a refund of the coins that you purchased, giving it back to you, which you're going to spend back to them anyway. But the fact that they are lowering the prices where acceptable, okay, and they're also giving you your money back so you can spend more money in the thing, this goes a long way with them for goodwill and whatnot, right? So that's also another good thing that they're doing. It says Raider decks at this moment. We have one free Raider pack available for all players. In the future, you'll see both free and premium Raider decks. Important things to note. Gameplay items are only in free Raider decks to help you along the way with new Raiders. We've also included some gameplay items in the free Raider deck, which can also unlock VI progression. There's also, there are no pay-to-win items in premium Raider decks. The focus of premium deck are based on cosmetic and convenience. Okay? So for more details on this, you come to Arc Raiders and be sure to check out the 2025 roadmap. So there you go. It's a quick little blurb of what they're bringing out. So they're putting a duo matchmaking in there. They're changing the pricing for the microtransaction store. They're refunding people that already purchased the stuff in the microtransaction store. And then they're telling you about the Raider decks that are going to be free and paid. I know they say that they're giving you tokens in the thing. I do believe there should be a way to earn the currency in the actual game. If it's 2 coins a match or something like that, something down the road, okay, where it's sort of like, and I know Helldivers, they don't have to be held to the same standard as Helldivers, but Helldivers kind of opened up the floodgates, in my opinion, right? Helldivers, you can literally buy all the packs. It's like time or money. And you could purchase every single one that's $10 that comes out, $15 for the legendary ones, or if you have the time, you can grind in the thing. I have 8 unlocked right now, 8 of the 17 that I've earned inside the actual game, okay? And I'm getting the currency within the game by playing the game, and I hope that they do that inside this game as well, where you could search stuff, and every once in a while, I don't care, maybe it's in high-end areas, you could run in, open a thing, and maybe you get 5 coins for the premium currency that you can actually put towards the actual Raider deck stuff. It'd be interesting if they did that. I think Helldivers, they should take a page out of Helldivers' book, and I think that model would work for them because they would make money. And more people, even though there's people that would grind, there's more people that would spend because they can get a little. So if they find 10 or they find 20, they would pay more for the other ones to give them enough so they can actually purchase something. And it's like a little discount, right? I think they should do that. It's a nice way that Helldivers did it, and I think it's a nice way that Arc Raiders could go about it the same way. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the duo matchmaking? What do you think about the store cosmetic lowering the price, and then also, what's it called? Giving the refund. That's a huge thing. Again, they're not giving you your money back. They're just giving you the currency back, and then you're going to spend that again inside the game. But still, giving you back the money after you paid more for it is a good goodwill moment type of thing. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of the other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. What's going on, Bet? Let's see. What's going on, Kylo? Morning, Winter Rose. Dolphin says, I was laughing my ass off last night. Yeah, it was a fun experience. It was a fun experience last night. Travis says, what is Speranza? Speranza is the city that you're in, inside of Arc Raiders. Let's see. Clip says, what, you had fun with a video game? I thought you weren't allowed to do that in this year of 2025. Premium game for premium gamers. Jimmy says, I've been doing knife runs in Battlefield 6 for satisfaction of sneaking up on and showing a little camper who's boss. Knives that always had allowed you to run faster by cutting through the air like a swimmer dives. I used to love doing that when someone's sniping you from a distance, little campers, and then you come around and you take them out and take their tags. It's always been a good feeling in Battlefield and in COD as well when you do stuff like that. That must have been a pretty intense stare down. It was funny because the way people pause in the game, Roadkill, if you go watch some of the footage last night, they don't speak. A lot of them don't speak. And I'm talking to them, right? And they're like, is this this is what I'm picturing in my head. They like look at you like, why does this guy not have a gun? Like they wouldn't kill me. They wouldn't shoot me. It was pretty funny. They were a little confused. Jason says, sounds like PvP games make more fun. I don't know if every PvP game would be like that, though, Jason. You know what I mean? It says it's because the people that are having fun in Helldivers, that's not PvP, right? And people are having a blast with Helldivers when it came out for a year and a half. Bat says, when solo, you're on solo queue, and when you're in duo, you're in you're 3-team, you're on team queue. But the dev said they're also creating a duo queue. It said that in Discord. Yeah, we just read that. So let's see. Kyle says they're also sold way more copies than they expected. We can offer a cut out of those skin prices, a couple of bucks. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, obviously, I'm surprised though. I'll be honest with you, Kylo, because a lot of companies, once they go up to a price, they never back down off that price. But you might be right because they made so many sales. They're like, you know what? We're going to make more sales, so why don't we back that off? And again, they're not making the greatest skins in the world here. Okay, let's see. Ray says, what I think when they added a cute anime skin and the Simpsons skin. What, you think they're going to do that inside Arc Raiders? Oh, no, I was referring to PvP in Arc only. I got you. It is funny because anytime you feel like you could get, killed, as you're making the noise and you're digging inside the boxes or searching through stuff. But last night it was very surprising. I got a lot of quests done. I didn't think I was going to get anything done. I thought I was literally going to go in the game, talk to somebody, and get shot in the face, and then we would go back in and do it again. I was very surprised that I did not die once from a person. I only died once, and that was for me throwing myself down an elevator shaft. But I didn't get killed by anybody, which is very, very surprising. All right, the next topic I want to talk about is still on Arc Raiders. From Windows Central, it says Arc Raiders uses generative AI for voice lines trained on its paid actors. It says, so what? Let's talk about where we draw the line, okay? Now, a lot of people have an issue with AI in general, right? Taking people's jobs, people are losing stuff, right? There's procedurally generated things. There's automated assembly lines, which is AI, okay? There's a lot of things in the world that are AI, okay? And now it's approaching inside the video game industry, okay? Those of you that listen to my music in the morning, if you didn't know, those are AI voices, okay? And a lot of people can't tell, okay? Can't tell. And those of you that can tell only know it because you know it's AI. Otherwise, there's stuff on the radio right now. There's TV commercials. There's movies, right? There's videos on YouTube. There's videos on Instagram that are AI that people have not a clue because AI is exponentially getting better and better. And it's going to be happening, right? It's a tool that people use. There's no difference between the person that, at least in the video game or the audio space, where someone's making the beats, but the beats loops are already made by the actual AI system, and then you're taking those beats and then mixing them up to make your own beat, right? That's AI, but with a person using the tool to make music. What I'm doing is I'm writing the actual lyrics, but the music is being created by AI. And it does all the voices, it does all the music, right? And it knows what to take my dialogue that I'm writing and into the actual songs, okay? I'm using it. Now, would I call myself a musician? No. But I am producing it. I am writing it, but I'm not creating the actual music, right? The AI is doing that, right? So if someone else was a mastermind producer, music producer, and they started knowing how to actually use this software, they're still talented. They could probably make even better music than me because they know the way the music works, okay? So it's a tool that people can use instead of replacing people. Now, obviously, could I hire a band? Could I make the money? Sure, if I was like Asmongold or something where I had millions of dollars and I could hire someone to write the song and then make the music and then sell that music, okay? Well, I don't have that, okay? So there's also no difference between a person writing like I'm doing and then giving it to another artist to sing it. Okay. If someone wanted to take the music that I had and they wanted to go, hey, can I purchase that music from you? Right. And take that lyrics and make it my own? Sure. I wrote it. I'm still the writer. So do it. Right. So now we talk about Arc Raiders. Okay. Embark Studios created their voice lines through AI assistants fueled by real humans. How do you separate machine learning from slop and define that what's right or what's wrong? Okay. It says AI has become the world's word, driving sales, infrastructure, device creation, and even video games. In the world's cost-cutting measures, AI has become a tool many use to have to save not just a buck, but also time and energy. In a world where everyone all at once needs everything now, okay, is AI the next boogeyman, or is it something else? Will it doom us all, or an existence in which humanity, our artistic talents, lie dormant, locked behind a wall of ever-growing, power-hungry server structures? Or is this the next step in human evolution? All right, not one created by selection of generation, but one made by human intervention. Okay, where does it lie on this on the less than linear scale? It is not simple conversation to have, nor that'll also have to scratch the surface of once you've also finished reading this piece. It says, what I'm here to do is begin a dialogue, one that people can evolve from over time and take points forward. Okay, it says, I want people to correct me. I want people to entice me to look even deeper into the depths of what AI is and implications of humanity. But I'm almost importantly, I want people to stop saying this is good or this is bad without actual exchanging. Okay. First, let's talk about what's brought the entire piece together. Arc Raiders, the current big hit of the month. Okay. What makes generative AI so bad? Most of you probably already know, but AI can replace any artistic creators, which also results in many people called slop, myself included, generative AI uses for other people's creations or general rules to build other creations. Basically, it recycles others' work to generate something new, but really, it's all into perception of training material, okay? It says, in this case of video games, this can also lead to a long list of featured developers that can also develop without hiring extra talent or speeding up development process, such as, but not limited to, textures, animation, voice lines, and also written code. Sounds fairly clear-cut, but all things, there's also a little bit more story than what's on the surface. Okay? It says Arc Raiders, and it uses of AI. It says it's stated on the Steam page that Arc Raiders and Embark Studios make use of AI tooling in the creation of both Arc and the finals. Okay? Remember, there was a big pushback of the finals about using AI as well. Okay? It says, quote, during the development process, we use the procedurally and AI-based tools to assist with the content creation. In all such cases, the final product reflects the creativity and expression of its own development team. It says, better yet, over the last few months, Embark has given multiple interviews on its use of AI. And On the Game Business, show as Christopher Drigg features Embark CEO Patrick Sutherland in an interview, and he explained the reasoning behind using AI tooling in fair detail. He says, when talking about needing to keep pace with the likes of studios like DICE and Activision, Patrick began to speak entirely rewriting the mythology of how to develop games. He says, quote, what type of modifications and transformations do we need to go through in order to completely change the way that we approach this? So when it came to the procedurally generated content, using AI, the machine learning, to extend the content creation pipeline, to what types of tools that we need to build to use, and realizing that a lot of these tools that we've also been working with are so long stem from software that's 25 to 30 years old. Okay. He continues and says he wasn't just about holding up. It was about beating others in content creation. Keeping pace only gets you so far. In a world of top-end gaming developer, getting ahead of the pack is key. He says, quote, so we may have to build some things that are also programs that we're using today. We may have to write our own in order to get where we want to go. And I also know today that we wouldn't say that you're also 100 times faster than any other studio. This would be arrogant, of course, he says, but we do believe that we also have to create a way to build products of games and update them, as we don't think that many others can compete with. Okay. So basically, let me translate that for you. And I'll use myself as an example. Okay. EA is here. Embark is down here. Even though these are ex-EA developers, their studios, compared to EA, this is a conglomerate, super company. And these guys are trying to make games to keep up with these, and obviously it looks like they've done so, right? But they don't have the means and the money like EA does to throw at games to make it things, right? Me as a YouTuber, okay, as a small, incoherent YouTuber, okay, very small, nobody knows who I am, okay? To compete with other people that have budgets and stuff like that, I've created my own music, right? It's ways for me to make extra cash, right? If you're entertained by it, if you stream it, if you're not buying it and someone else is just listening to it and the ads play or whatever it is, I get paid, okay? It's like someone making a mug, selling coffee, making a t-shirt. It's the exact same thing. It's something that I'm doing, making it personal for me, and I'm selling it to people, okay? Or you can stream it and download it. They're trying to compete with the big dogs to give a chance. Otherwise, it just constantly just gets bigger and bigger gap, okay? It says, what does Embark Studios use to the finals? Is it justified? Okay, it says, here's a list of things that Embark Studio uses AI for Arc Raiders. Procedure animations. They created a system to animate the robots in the game to better interact with the world around them. They move, okay, the way they move. They also creatively enemies such as leapers or queens, right? And we saw that video a couple weeks ago where it had like 64 million iterations of the queen that was walking across the AI. They were like throwing boxes at it and doing all these things. And every time it did something, it learned. You can actually see what's happening inside the actual game itself when you play Arc Raiders. Where in the beginning, the little wasps and stuff, they wouldn't come in the building. They would stay outside the building. They would scan the whole building. They would see what's happening inside the building. And then all of a sudden, they would go into the building, right? And they would start adapting. They start knowing what you're doing. They know the entrance of the doors. It's learning, which is pretty cool, okay? Because there's other games out there where the AI is just complete idiots. So this is actually getting... There might get to a point, though, where the AI is so well-versed because it's not just learning off of you, it's learning off of the millions of people that are playing the actual game. And it's exponentially getting better and better. We've done this example millions of times with Tesla and the way they map out stuff, right? It says text-to-speech. The model first saw use of finals where the game's narrator uses the method. It's a text-to-speech program that yields dialogue for the ping system, giving all enemies areas of danger and the area of vocal callouts. The work isn't stolen by any means. Instead, it uses contracted voice actors that led their voice to the system, which then can turn into use of any new items for the quest that come out. Now, they're trying to do this in the movie industry as well, right? This is why they went on strike, because they're trying to protect against AI, where if someone records voice lines, they can take your voice lines. I don't know if you guys know this. If you guys know the streamer, or not streamer, well, he is a content creator streamer, the Critical Drinker, okay? He's got a very distinct voice. Very distinct voice. Well, a new channel popped up, and it does reviews of older movies, but they're using Critical Drinker's voice that they've put into a program, and they've basically stole the man's voice. Now, there's a difference between that. If it was a big corporation and they wanted to ask Critical Drinker to use his voice and pay the man, and then use his voice in these things, cool. But this person just straight up stole this person's voice to use it in the thing. Okay? So enemy AI, in-game enemies are programmed using machine learning as well. True AI, as it's called, is since the enemies learn as they work to kill other raiders, something that all developers have worked to create over the years to give compelling combat to players for threats other than other players. Okay. One final note, Embark Studios does not use any form of generative AI. They've stated in verbatim that they continue to promise and such going forward. So what's the big issue gamers have with this? Well, it's the voice acting. Okay, during my Arc Raiders review, I didn't even comment on this because not something I really care about. I did find some of the dialogue off, but it didn't even consider it as AI was the fault, right? What was the game that we watched? It wasn't AI, but the performances of the actual people that were working and doing the dialogue, I forget what game it was very bland, was very like, whatever, okay? What's the difference? If you have a real person that has a shitty performance, or if you do an AI that has a better performance than the shitty guy, but still doesn't sound like a real person, which one's better? The shitty guy doing the voices or the shitty AI doing the voices? Right? It doesn't have the contract details, but reached out to Embark Studios to comment on the subject. If these voice actors are paid for any voice line using the game, then even if they didn't need to record it, I think gamers around the world rejoice over that news. All right, the very idea for actors could be undercutting other paid talent by taking those deals, which could also be far less lucrative because of AI, is both bothersome. Without the contract, though, can only guess as of the details of it. Now, I have a question, chat. Back in the old days, you would only get Mario to say, woohoo, it's me, Mario. And that was it. That was the voice line, and everything else in the game was just text, right? Some of the Final Fantasy games that you play to this day, or any JRPGs, sometimes there is no voice dialogue. It's just text. So let's say in a world in the future where people are like, oh, well, I want to be paid to be a voice actor. And they're like, you know what? We're not doing voice acting anymore. Voice acting is too expensive. So we're just going to do dialogue. Now, obviously, as a gamer, you're like, well, I don't really like this game because it doesn't have voice acting in it. I really wish it had voice acting in it. But obviously, certain companies can't pay people to do voice acting. It's just not in the budget. Okay. So now you have a small independent company making a game that the only thing it's missing, this game would be top notch. Like the gameplay is good. The scope is good. The art direction is good. Everything's great about the game. It's just text, no voice acting. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I wish I had voice acting. So they put a voice acting in, but they can't afford actual people to do voice acting, right? And nobody in the studio wants to do the voice acting, so they use AI. Is that wrong? Is that right? Right? Obviously, if they can't afford it, but they can add it in to benefit you, the consumer, because then you're like, oh man, it's got voice acting. And the voice acting, if you didn't know, was actual real people or not, doesn't matter to you. We've had this conversation in the past with movies. If a movie's made by AI completely, or it's all CGI, okay, does it matter to the consumer if you're enjoying the film, if you're enjoying the show, if you're enjoying the music? Does it matter that it was made and created by AI or a person that used AI to create that as a consumer, as a customer? Or are you just happy that you're like, oh, this game now has voice acting in it? It's fantastic, right? Right? So it's very interesting to see where people, each individual their own, where they draw the line. If you're being entertained and you like a game, you already do it right now with games that are broke, buggy, and unfinished. You draw that line in the sand. You say, I like the game. It's a fantastic game, even though it's broke, buggy, and unfinished. Okay? So you could draw the line in the sand and say, I don't support games that use AI voices. I don't support anything that uses AI voices. All right? Even though most of the people don't even know that they're using AI in some way, shape, or form. If that's in video format, picture format, in audio format, whatever it is. Here it says not a replacement, but an augment for creativity. Okay. It says, as another raider teamed up with me in game, put it, Embark is using AI as augmented for creativity, not to replace creativity fully. But their own metrics, there's also not here to replace the human element with AI. Instead, they look to enhance the humanity ability to create more effective ways. Okay, humans at their very core have always sought this road. Very beginning of the nature of also the hunter-gatherers. Over time, we also learned to farm, freeing up resources to develop a new technology. Pottery was one of those things, first things. Then we also made a result of that freedom. The problem with the AI is it threatens the said creative outlets as the generative AI consumes the work of others. It replaces the needs and new ideas to be born without the producers of humans. AI has nothing to consume or its own expected self. Now, when it came to the pottery, humans produced these items purely by hand sculpting pots without the tools of assistance. Now, an advanced pottery wheel, also needles, ribs, believing tools, molds, hundreds of other tools were also created, bringing truly creative work to life. In short, we improved our tools to create the greatest form that we've ever seen. Sure, but now pots are being made by machines that no human touches besides quality control. Okay, so sure, large corporations exist and churn out the executive volume of ceramics and completely outweigh the individual maker, but that doesn't mean AI is automatically the largest corporation creating slop. He says, I pose this question on X. What is the difference between this and something like procedure generation? He says, yes, I know there's a difference, but the fundamental level, procedural generation creation landscapes and terrain without full human intervention to tweak this generation and refine the final creation. A human environmental artist oversees this project. If AI is used, all right, and some effort required to create voice lines and other forms of content, so long as the initial creation is the final product is overseen in large part of a real human, is this really all that bad? I don't know if the true answer is, but this is at the time that we had this chat. Okay, so it's a good question, right? It's a good question. In Arc Raiders, there's a lot of people that don't talk at all, right? There's pings, right? So in Apex Legends, right? The pinging system over here, it says that's a voice. Now it could have been recorded, but it's pre-recorded and you can ping, and that's what it is, right? Inside Arc Raiders, they take the AI voice and put it as your voice. It's a voice changer. So you're talking, but it's changing. So if people are not comfortable with their voice, now they have a way to talk in the game without hearing their own voice. Someone knows that they could be a girl, they could be a guy, they could be whatever, right? So it gives it more freedom for people to be like, hey, I'm actually more comfortable talking now in the game because they're not hearing my voice, right? They don't know who I am, and maybe they feel safer that way. So is that wrong, using the AI voice for that thing, even though they recorded people's voices, used it and tweaked it, and then you are talking, but it's turning into a girl's voice, or it's turning into a dark, deep voice, or whatever it is? Is that wrong? Okay. As AI is here to stay, the foreseeable future now isn't time to begin discussion of the ethical use. Bearing the entirety of the service isn't a real option. Anyone who isn't wholly motivated emotionally can tell you that. Rather than this shouting no at the top of their lungs for everything, it's time to start talking about how AI can be used. Okay, it says humans are definition of a species that also always looking better to itself. Ethical use of AI could lead to great things, so as long as you don't use it to replace the creativity of which defines us, rather than it's also awares in the ways that also enhance the artistry. Okay, maybe he says maybe I'm entirely wrong, and I'll be eating my my comments in the social media from the folks who also feel entirely different than me. Then again, that's the point. Right, the entire piece. I'm not here to simply just because the game is popular. It's because of the discussion, rather than screaming from the rooftops, that we condemn it to life of slop. Okay, and I think it's a good. I mean, we love having conversation on here. So, what do you guys think? Right, where do you think that AI exists? Can it exist? Is it immoral? Right, is it where it's taking jobs away from people? But again, each person has their own. If it's a small studio that doesn't have the budget, but they want to make the best game possible, and if they can just enhance it just a little bit more to give them that little bit of edge over somebody else, can't they take it? Can they do it? Or is it unethical, right? Or is it immoral because they can't? They're not paying someone to do the voice lines, right? Back in the day when people had to do voice lines, Princess Peach and Mario, they were people that actually worked in the company when they first did the voice lines, because they couldn't pay somebody to come in to be, because voice acting wasn't voice acting back then. Right, so they used people inside the actual company. Okay, it was like an assistant that I think Princess Peach did the noise or the voice. Okay, and then later, obviously, they paid her and become very successful, but they couldn't even afford the person. They had to use the people inside the thing. Is that immorally wrong? Because they were paying her as a production assistant or as an accountant. They didn't pay her for the voice acting. They just paid her for being an accountant, and then she became the voice of Princess Peach. Is that immoral? Is that unethical? Right? They were just doing what they can to get past to actually make it a little bit better for the consumer. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think about AI's use, right? Obviously, if you don't know, you can't get angry at it. So if you don't know if all games are, from here on forward, are voice actors not existing and they're just AI voices, would you care if your experience didn't change? You still enjoyed the game for what it is, and you were still entertained. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Altair says they had voice actors' permission, so I don't see a problem with it. Yeah, but even if they didn't have the voice actors' permission and they just used voice acting with AI, is there a problem with it because they didn't hire actual voice actors to do those lines? Right now, in Arc Raiders, you can run around and talk in a voice changer. They didn't hire you, yet you're giving content. You're giving an experience to somebody else in the game with your voice. You paid to be in the game. I could tell there was AI in Arc, but could definitely tell in the finals. Oh, I couldn't tell it was AI in the Arc, but I could definitely tell in the finals. Let's see here. Clip says, let's go. I forgot the Tabletop Simulator came out today. Oh, did it? Today's 12th? Oh, is today the 12th? Yeah, it is the 12th. I totally forgot about that. Adam Fall had pretty bad voice acting. Was that the game I was thinking of, Eclipse? Because we did play that. Some of the AI did sound very, very strange. I don't have that story, but we are going to talk about it, House. The fact that Eurogamer, in the article, right, gave... They liked the mechanics. They liked the whole extraction. They were pro. All these great things to say about Arc Raiders, and then they got to the AI part, and they basically we're like, yeah, and because of this, I'm deducting points. It's like that fundamentally is everything that's not a review process. You're reviewing a game based on the gameplay, the game, all the stuff, not because of the moral injustice that you think that AI has in a video game, right? 100% a hit piece because it wasn't a 90%, and because of this one article from Eurogamer, because they gave it a 2 out of 5, it dropped it to 88% overall, okay? Because of one article, which is absolutely nuts. That they would say all of these things and then give it a 2 out of 5 or a 4 out of 40 out of 100, okay, because of AI voices in the game. That has very little to do because all the actors that paid all the quest givers and stuff, those are actual voice actors. But yet the voices that come out for when you ping something or do something, that's why they gave it a 2 out of 5. This is why you shouldn't give any journalist the time of day because they're so ridiculous. Remember the one guy that didn't even play half the game? He gave it like an 8 out of 10, and then because he didn't play the rest of the game, or was like, you didn't even play the rest of the game, he's like, he deducted a half a point because he's like, oh yeah. Like, what are we talking about? How the fuck are you doing a review? Okay, how are you doing a review if you're not even reviewing the fucking game? You're like in a moral high ground because there's AI in the game and I don't like AI, so this is a 2 out of 5. Like Nintendo not doing voice acting, like what the fuck? Yeah, it's cheaper and they make the most money, right? This is why the budget's low for that. Here are my thoughts on Eurogamer. Why did they not review Pokemon ZA crap? It's a question. What if your kid were playing this and you can change their voice so it doesn't sound like a little kid, which could be safer for them? No, 100%. Right? 100%. If they could come in the game and you could sort of, because a voice changer just changes your voice, but you can sort of tell it's a young person using it or an older person using it. Now, obviously, I would prefer that over their regular voice over the thing. But each their own, you know? 30 says, it's simple. Where you draw the line at it's okay to use it to help, but not replace if it's not that hard, and they want to make it seem. But I can give you an example, Travis. Again, if the company wants to compete, right? If they want to compete, and two companies, one has a $300 million budget and the other one has a $50 million budget. If the $50 million budget doesn't have the budget to put voice actors in their game, but now AI lets them put voice actors in their game, why does that matter to you, the gamer? Right? They both put them out. You have no idea there's AI in there. Have no idea. Until they tell you there's AI in the game. You're having fun with that game. All of a sudden, if you had fun with that game, and all of a sudden I tell you, what about if I told you Indiana Jones and Troy Baker's voice was AI? What if I told you that? Would you have less fun with that game? No, you played the game, you beat the game, you enjoyed the game, but now after the fact, you know it was AI, you're like, oh, my experience was ruined. No, you would still like the game for what it is. You still enjoyed the game for what it is. And then these people can actually put voice acting in their game. Is that morally bad? Is it unethical? If they can't compete and they get less sales because they can't compete with someone that's put $300 million in a game, but they want to give you the best experience, is that a problem? Well, yeah, if it's Troy gave permission, it's still AI, but you don't know it's AI, right? Does that make it worse? If they make a voice out of thin air, right? It's no person's voice out of AI. So that's fine then. As long as the voice doesn't sound like somebody else on planet Earth, which everyone's voice is different. Some people sound the same. Impersonators sound like actual people they want to make their voice sound like. Do they ask permission? No, they're doing a voice, right? Do they get in trouble for making other people's voices? No. What's the difference? People that pretend they're Christopher Walken or impersonators, they don't ask permission. They just do it because they can. But that's talent, right? That's talent. Stealing someone else's voice and pretending that you're the character for entertainment purposes, right? And as the person that's entertained by the people that do voices, you're entertained. So is it okay? Of course it is. Juby says, AI making anyone sound like Morgan Freeman or Fran Drescher being illegal would ruin the fun out of it. When you talk about, like, if you're being, I mean, hell, Fortnite just did it with Darth Vader, right? They asked permission, okay, to use Darth Vader's voice in the game and his AI voice of Darth Vader. People were laughing. People were entertained by it, okay? Because that's an iconic game. Morgan Freeman, iconic. Fran Drescher's voice, you can hear it in your head, right? But if it's just a generic AI voice, number one, do they have to ask permission to anybody? Or can they just use it? Ron Slusher says Jar Jar Binks' voice is priceless. Game better not be full price game with AI generated acting. Just opens the door for greed. I don't think that's I don't think that represents anything. $70 doesn't represent if they can afford voice acting or not. Nintendo proves that, Quintar. Nintendo proves that. They charge full price for games, and it has text dialogue. There's no voices in some of the games that they charge full price for, right? So putting voices in there, can they charge more money? No, they can charge the same money. Altair says, the only concern I have in game is good or not. I'm just a consumer. Travis says, as long as they're not using it solely, so they don't have to pay voice actors for doing the work to use the AI to help it, not replace it. Again, if a company can't afford it because they don't have the budget to do it, but they want to put voice acting in it, what's the difference? Here, I have a question. If I put my voice in a machine, but then I tweak my voice to be a girl or be a guy, I'm not getting paid anything, right? I'm the developer using my voice in the game, but I want to make multiple voices in the game. So I play the girl, I play the guy, I play the kid, I play all the stuff. This is happening back in the day in old games, right? So I take my voice and make it lower. I take my voice, make it higher. Okay. Text is the way different than voice acting. No, the budget of the video game and you as the consumer doesn't change, right? If I'm putting voice acting in the game and I charge $60, $70, or if I don't charge or I don't put voice acting in the game and still charge you $60, $70, what I'm saying to you, Quintar, if they use voice acting or not, they're still going to charge what the price of the game is based on the budget of the game or what money they want to make off of it. It has nothing to do if there's a voice actor in it or not. The budget's the budget. If the person that wants to make the game $70 and doesn't put voice acting in it and they charge $70, you're saying that they have full-on cutscenes or whatever and it's a full-price game and they have AI voices, that's here nor there on the price of the actual game. That's what they want to charge for the actual game. Right? Text to speech, whatever it is. Again, if I'm the person that's working on the video game, I'm a one-man band. All of a sudden I make my voice. I'm not getting paid for each voice line. I'm stealing jobs. I'm stealing jobs, by the way, right? Because I have 10 characters in my game. I'm an independent developer. I can't afford the independent to pay for all the different people to do the voice acting. So I'm doing all the voices, but I'm changing them within a program that changes the voices. Is that wrong? Or because he's the creator of the game, he's allowed to do that? Where do you draw the line? Jay Breezy says, this would be like how Mike Myers played different characters in Austin Powers. Does he need to get paid for Mr. Evil, Austin Powers? What about the other characters in there? That's another example. He took 3 jobs away from people, right? He took 3 jobs away from people. Or does he get paid more because he paid each of the things? It's a good one, Jay Breezy. I also think the devs also use their voices they want in the same way that music uses their good sounds. I can see slogans of specific arrangements of words and specific voices becoming off limits. I think that actors like a Troy Baker, like a Morgan Freeman, like a Fran Drescher, like Critical Drinker, you can protect your voice. And if someone uses that voice, for instance, the lawsuit with Scarlett Johansson, when was it OpenAI? I think OpenAI used her voice. Okay. And there was a lawsuit because they used her voice. Right? That is wrong. But if you're just making a voice, right? If you're just making an AI voice, is that wrong because you're taking a job away from someone that you could have paid for? But what about if I can't pay for it? Am I supposed to not use voices now because I can't afford to pay somebody? Buy the technology here. Could have been AI that explained why Fallout 4 voices sounded so bad. Perhaps, Travis. I have no idea. That was like $1 billion. I think, personally, obviously right now someone could take my voice and use my voice in something, and I have no idea until I do. And when you find that thing and go, sort of like Critical Drinker just found out, okay, then you would be like, holy shit, this is a lawsuit because someone used my voice without my permission. But if it's a voice that is not anybody out there, okay, who are they upset now because they didn't get hired for the job? Do you know what I mean? Like right now, if I want to do home improvement, if I don't hire someone to do the job and I build it myself, should I be shunned because I want to save a buck? Or do I have to put out thousands of dollars to have someone build a wall for me? That guy didn't do anything for his career. I'll tell you that. Who? Mike Myers? Sometimes I pay a lot of money for actors, and they sound like shit too. It's also true. Also true. But my point is, as a consumer, right? As a consumer, again, this is not just making this an example. Think of a game that you loved. Great story, right? Mass Effect, Red Dead Redemption. And let's just say in a world that years later you find out that all the voice acting in that game was AI. Does it make it a worse experience for you, the customer? I don't think it does. Do I think it's morally bad that someone can take a job from you? Yes and no. It all depends on what the circumstances are. Right? Like if the guy that made Tunic, a one-man band, right? Obviously, it was just text in that game. There was no voice acting because he couldn't afford it. Technology wasn't there yet. But if he could put voice acting in that game because of AI voice, is that morally wrong because he didn't hire somebody because he's a one-man band? I don't think it is. Now, if he makes Tunic 2, and now he made a lot of money and he can afford to have two voice actors, and then he hires them, then why not? If he chooses to do that, to say it's greed's greed. If I can make $1 or I can make $10, right? That's it. That's capitalism. You don't have to buy the product if you don't agree with it. You got to check out the Drinker Guy. I can see if I bring it up here. Let me see if let me bring it up on Twitter, right? Because I watch a lot of his videos and stuff talking about the movie industry and stuff like that. Let me bring up Critical Drinker. He did a tweet. Let's see. No. Critical. Oh, for God's sakes. Let me see if he said something on YouTube. Production hell. No, Critical Drinker. I don't think he did it there. So let me, because he said it on his Twitter account a couple days ago. Okay, so here it is, right? He says, now if you guys don't know his voice, this is not his channel, okay? Critical Drinker says, am I going nuts or is this AI version of my voice? Okay, so we'll click here.
Right then. Hollywood loves selling you a story, doesn't it? The glamour, the magic, the stars aligning to create something timeless. They want you to remember the perfect musical numbers, the...
Now, if you know Critical Drinker, right, that's his voice. Now, this is a fucked up part because they're taking someone's voice. This is like a James Earl Jones or anything like that, okay? If you listen to Critical Drinker, you know that's his voice. But someone's making a complete channel, okay? They're making a complete channel off of this man's voice without paying him his money. That's fucked up. What they did to Scarlett Johansson, OpenAI using her voice instead of a person they approved, okay? That's fucked up. If a person's known, it's their voice, they have a very distinct voice, and you're using that voice, that's fucked up. If you're using AI to make voices, okay, to me, that's not morally wrong or bad because you're not giving a job to somebody because it all depends on what that person can afford. It is. But now, is it bad that a multi-billion-dollar company is also using this system because they don't have to pay people? Well, yeah, but then that's your choice as a consumer. You're like, you know what? I don't want to support this company. If it's a smaller company, if it's Arc Raiders, if it's a large company, right? If it's Embark Studios with Arc Raiders, if it's Bethesda, if it's Microsoft, if it's Sony, you could be like, you know what? I don't want to support a company that does that. And you have every right, right? You have every right to do that. Titan says, grift the grifter. Yeah, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen there, Titan. You don't want to grift the grifter by you got to give credit where credit's due if you're taking someone that's known publicly. There's a difference between that. There's a difference between stealing his voice and just using AI voice to voice characters. There's a huge difference. A huge difference. You can't just make it sound like someone and say it's them. If it's just a random person, who cares? If it's someone that's not known to the public, but someone is known to public, and they have, I mean, there's a difference of knowing a famous person. If they use Jack Nicholson or Eddie Murphy or someone's voice, you know who that voice is. Right? Even if they do it for Troy Baker, for people's voices in the video game space. But again, if you're using just random voice as AI, I don't think that's wrong. I think that's someone that's using the tool. Okay, I don't use a screwdriver to bash a nail in, right? I use a hammer. I'm taking the tool, right? There's different tools to use for different things, and we always adapt and change. These are the same people that are moral high ground. They don't want AI voices being used in their video games and stuff. But these are the same people that are plagiarizing written words off of ChatGPT when they turn in an assignment into their class for college. You know what I mean? You can't do that and then steal someone's stuff off of ChatGPT. You know what I mean? You can't do that. They feel like they're better than someone, but yet they're doing the exact same thing in a different way, and it's okay. Don't forget the movie Her. She's also the AI. She didn't know what the future was. Right, but they literally stole that dolphin. They stole it from her and then used it in OpenAI. She's like, what the fuck? You got to pay me for that. You can't just take that. Yeah, I adapt and just use my fist as a hammer. That'd be great. You just detach your hand. You put a attachment piece on. You're like, duh, duh, duh. And now you're just hammering with your... That'd be cool. But like, you're taking a job away from a guy who holds a hammer. Robert Jones says, I think famous actor voice thing is a great line. If they just use a person's voice to train after saying no, that is wrong. But if they also hire a guy who can also sound like them and train off that, sure. But even if you give a guy, I see what you're saying, Jones. So you're saying if I hire a guy or girl, okay, that sounds like Morgan Freeman, and I ask him to do the Morgan Freeman voice in the thing, and then they sue me because it's Morgan Freeman. Like, no, I used Ted, and Ted sounds like Morgan Freeman, and Morgan Freeman didn't give me his voice, but Ted sounds like Morgan Freeman, be like, I don't know about that. Because that person knew that they wanted that voice because it sounded like Morgan Freeman. Right? Luke says the same people that use ChatGPT to write the articles. Right? It's morally wrong to use AI. Wait a minute. Let's see. Did you use AI for this article? That'd be fantastic if he did. That would be fantastic if we find out that he used AI. Can you imagine? Roic says there's nothing wrong using a tool for something, but you have these bad apples that also use the wrong way and give a bad reputation. Sure, but you can never stop that, right? You can never stop that, Roic. Ron says, how do you hire T-Rex to do the voice in Jurassic Park without talking to someone, taking someone's job? It's also morally wrong to put out what is clearly a hit piece. Sure. Yeah, that review, hence why we're not showing the review, right? The review is not a review. The review is a hit piece. They literally deduct 60 points or 3 points because of the AI voice use. Not because of, right? You want to make it like an 80 out of 100 and then put it in there and say a 70 out of 100, cool. But making it a 2 out of 5 or a 40 out of 100 because they used AI voices, well, seems a little. You should not be doing a review. Crowded says, how does a T-Rex sign off with those tiny hands? So stupid. Oh, you guys are. All right, we're going on to the next thing. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is Marvel Rivals Season 5 introduces Gambit as a new support, Rogue, and more, while also key feature players have begged for finally arrives. Okay, so if you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay. Marvel Rivals Season 5 is adding Gambit and Rogue, with the former providing a sorely needed strategist option, while cross progression is last being implemented. Okay, so the next chapter of Marvel Rivals is on the way, with the team of NetEase Games unveiling what's coming in Season 5 on Tuesday. It was previously all but confirmed, but the two characters joining the battle for Marvel Rivals Season 5 are Gambit and Rogue, which they look awesome, right? They look awesome, with the iconic pair of X-Men attempting to get married. The eruption of their wedding of Cocoa kicks off the story with this season, which also is set to begin on November 14th, which is what, Friday? Is that Friday? It says you can watch the trailer down below. Okay, we already saw that yesterday. The trailer also revealed Cyclops, a.k.a. Scott Summers, team leader for X-Men. He says, while I seriously doubt that Cyclops will also be added this season, this could be a fun teaser for one of the characters that can also be expected to see in Season 6. So obviously, he'll probably be the character in January. Maybe they bring him in at the very end, right? And put 13 characters in this year instead of 12. Who knows? Okay. It says, in a refreshing surprise, Gambit is a strategist and the first being added to the game since Ultron back during Season 2, with 3 new duelists and only single Vanguard added since then, saying that's sorely needed and extremely underestimated. A video showcasing Gambit's abilities reveals that he's healing prowess and has also ultimate capability of greatly boosting allies, letting them jump higher and deal more damage in the same time. The Marvel Rivals development team also shared dedicated video with the roundup of various changes coming alongside with new season. Creative director confirmed it previously promised a cross progression is finally coming to Marvel Rivals at the start of Season 5. He says this feature allows players to take their skins and other cosmetics to unlock and purchase across platforms without issues. Other noteworthy tidbits of the season include a new team-up ability, with Black Widow getting team-up with Phoenix that allows the former to switch her rifle to healing bullets rather than additional role flexibility. That's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. So finally, Marvel Rivals is also getting a competitive placement matches, which should hopefully address the issue of ranked resets causing serious congestion across the various ranked tiers. This was also a big problem to the point that others I know flat out quit playing ranked. So I'm crossing my fingers that things improve with this addition. As for Rogue, We'll have to wait and see. She'll be coming in halfway point of season 5.5, but her role hasn't been confirmed yet. It's also going to be an argument for placing her in any of the 3 categories, but I'm personally hoping for another Vanguard. All right? He says this could be the best season in months. Having Gambit and Rogue arrive in the same season is great, but I'm especially happy with the former can also provide some support variety. Can I just say, what do we talk about certain characters can bring people back? Now, obviously, it's not out yet, okay? But you can actually see, like, if a less known character came in, they'd be like, I'll go back for that. But if a popular character comes in, you'll see a big chunk to come in. And this is also why they need PvE, more PvE in the game, which they said they are going to do. It says, in fact, I enjoyed it, but the lack of options has been building up in Breaking Point. I'm also extremely happy for cross progression arriving this season. I enjoy playing on the Xbox, but sometimes I like the option to play on PC as well while I'm still having all my stuff. He says, we don't have the full patch notes for Marvel Rivals Season 5 at this time, but everything in developers have shared and known so far seems extremely promising. As long as there's no unexpected nonsensical nerfs, this could easily be the best season in the game had in months. Now, there's also another thing I want to show you guys. I think Miller Ross posted this a couple of, like a day or two ago, or is it yesterday? So this is, they're putting a social hub inside this game. Okay, they're putting a social hub inside this game. Let me see if I can find it. Which is, it's very strange that they're doing this, but they are doing it. Okay. I'm going to mute this, all right? So they're putting a social hub inside the game. Okay, it's Times Square. 100 players can join inside here. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you are looking at this going, why the fuck do I need this? They're like dancing. They're playing basketball. They're listening to music. There's like movies playing or Disney Plus advertisements playing on the thing. There's certain things inside, right? Inside the universe here, right? You see Marvel Universe Ultimate. Like it's an advertisement of everything that basically they can do. Think of this as like Fortnite. Okay. They're showing clips of movies. There's places within inside the universe of Marvel all around. They're doing all of these things. And it's like, but why? Right? So I want to have a conversation of why would they do this? Right? Does this mean that they're doing something above and beyond this as far as, are they making it more PvE? Why would you put in a PvP game a place where 100 people can come and just socialize? Right? It seems a little weird, doesn't it? Right? It's just very strange. But they did say that they're going to put more PvE game modes into here. They're also doing an 18 versus 18 game mode. Okay? It's a conquest type of game mode where 18 versus 18. So that's something different, right? So you're going up against way more people now in a completely different game mode. But the social hub is a little weird to me. So it makes me wonder if they're advertising at Avengers gift shop, if you could walk into that gift shop and purchase stuff in the gift shop, if you can watch, let's say right here, you could put a movie inside here. It's their game, right? If Disney's in, all of a sudden in that hub, they're showing, Guardians of the Galaxy movie playing inside the game. Okay. I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know why they're doing it, but they have plans. They have plans, I would assume, because of that hub. They're going to put more towards PvE than they are going actually towards PvP. Obviously, there'll be PvP because that's what the game is. But I think they're going to be adding a more PvE as driven content into the game moving forward, right? To show off your skins that you just bought. Yeah, but you could do that inside the game anyway, Titan. Do you know what I mean? Like you could do that anyway. You buy a game, you buy a skin, and you go into the game. People will see it anyway. So, I mean, what you're saying makes sense, but it doesn't make sense to the point of, oh, is it going to sell more skins that way? I don't know. Altair says a mission counter? Maybe. Right? Hey, I want to go do this mission, right? You come back to the tower, you link up, and all of a sudden you go. Luke says, link your Disney Plus. You're allowed to also watch film with friends. Maybe, perhaps. Yeah. Titan says, I thought this was Street Fighter 6. Do you think at some point they'll also cycle characters, remove them, and bring them back later. No. That would be devastating to the game, House. At least in my opinion. You can't bring Cyclops in and then, 2 seasons from now take him out. It'd be the stupidest thing ever. That's like Destiny or Bungie sunsetting fucking weapons. You cannot do that, especially since you're selling skins for people. If you're selling skins for these characters and you all of a sudden you take Hulk out, that's a fucking lawsuit waiting to happen. Yeah. I'm not even going with that part, Brain. No, it's a competitive game. You can't do that. Yeah. You can unvote them to not be in that match, but to take them completely out of the game, that'd be suicide for the game. They might have to stop at some point and make a sequel. The roster's going to be insane. So you think instead of... I 100% completely disagree with what you're saying here, because I'm the one in the very beginning said they should put as many heroes in as possible. Have 100 characters. I don't care, right? You're saying that if they only do 50 characters in this, okay, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, we'll put 50 characters in the next sequel. That'll be 50 different characters in this. That won't fly either. You'll kill the game. You'll do an Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. You know why Overwatch 2 brought the same characters over? Because that would be suicide for the game again. No, you bring the people in and you keep supporting the game. If Rivals is around for 10 years from now and they have 100 characters, so be it. Because every time you add a character like Rogue or every time you add a character like Gambit, someone that's never played the game, and they're like, oh my God, they brought in my favorite character. They're going to go play that game now. They might spend a microtransaction. They might buy the one skin, and they might never ever play another character again, but they play that one character. Jason says they'll need to add a third band slot for competitive with how big roster is getting. Sure. That's a lot simpler than taking things away from people, isn't it though, Jason? Go on, Sweat. Can you imagine? You're like, oh yeah, I bought Magneto's skin for every season. It's my favorite character. And they're like, oh, Magneto's not going to be in the game next season. You're like, what? Cycling through characters is going to be crazy? Not really. I mean, they make it pretty simple. If anything, they can add another class and rearrange people in different classes. Ron says, I'm not playing until Howard the Duck finally arrives. I can't wait to the day when Howard the Duck finally comes in the game, Ron. And you're like, fuck, now I actually have to play the game. Like, I want proof, Ron. I want proof that you're playing the game. Howard the Duck's in it. Yeah, you can add favorites. It's really not that difficult. It's not like you're going through like a Netflix side scroll like Battlefield 6 shitty menu system. It's just a wheel, and it has a group of people. If you know who you're looking for, you can find them in 2 seconds. Sweat Dog says, we want the 80s Howard the Duck. I mean, it would be great if they gave you their version of Howard the Duck, and then they gave you the skin for 80s Howard the Duck version. That'd be cool. Some of these, what's it called? MVP screens are pretty cool as well. Here, I'll start off with, these are some of the skins that are coming in the Battle Pass. All right, so you got this one. Okay. There's that. Okay. You have Magneto. You got Blue Thing. Someone said, we wanted Red Hulk, instead we got Blue Thing. You got Hela. You got Groot. You got Namor. This one's cool. You got Frankenstein Punisher. That looks cool. And then you got Ultron. Isn't that What If? That's What If Ultron, right? And then, Black Widow. Who's this one? Who's that? Is that Magic? No. Who the fuck is that? Oh, it's Angel. I was like, who is that? I was like, I don't know who that is. Yeah. And you got Wanda. Good skins, man. They're knocking it out of the park there with that stuff. All right. The next thing I want to talk about or watch is a video called Streaming Crushed Piracy and then brought it back by accident. Okay. Now, ironically, right, the YouTuber that we're watching is called Not General Knowledge. It's got 7,804 subscribers. Maybe one day we'll be there. All right. They got 7,804 or 40 subscribers. I think it's AI. Ironically, since we talked about AI. Okay. Not that it matters. I just think the voice sounds, it could be someone real, but hope he paid somebody. So we're going to watch this. It says streaming crushed piracy and brought back by accident. Now, the reason I want to watch this, I watched the first couple of minutes of it, didn't watch the whole thing, is because there's a lot of crossroads of what's happening right now in the video game space that happened in the movie space all those years ago, right? So if you guys like it, link in the description down below. Check it out. Give it a like. Give it a subscribe. Here we go.
Do you remember the sound? That screeching, beeping alien symphony of a 56K modem connecting to the internet. It was the sound of freedom, the sound of possibility, and let's be honest, it was the sound of you downloading a Blink-182 song as well as The Matrix from a program called LimeWire, praying they weren't actually viruses that would brick your family's beige gateway computer. For a brief, glorious
Do I have it on double? No, it's on normal.
moment, we lived in a digital utopia. Streaming services like Netflix were the heroes we didn't even know we needed. They swooped in, vanquished the digital pirates, and gave us everything we could ever want for one simple, low price. It was perfect. But then, something happened. The heroes got greedy. They built walls around their kingdoms, raised their prices, and started hoarding their treasures. And in doing so, they accidentally did the one thing they swore to destroy.
Right, which is normal television.
They made piracy great again. This is the story of how streaming almost flatlined piracy, and then, through a spectacular series of fumbles, resuscitated it. And to understand how we got here, we first need to go back to a dorm room in 1999, where a college kid...
Napster. You guys remember Napster, right? Is there someone in here that doesn't know about Napster? Is there anybody here? Because I know there's some young people here. Is there someone that doesn't know about Napster or LimeWire? Anybody? Yeah. Good old LimeWire. Yeah. MSN Messenger. Yeah.
with a clever idea was about to set the entire music industry on fire. Before Netflix, before Spotify, there was Napster.
Like, think about this for a second. Like, my kid would never know about Napster, right? He only knows about Netflix. He only knows about Spotify. Spotify to every... What the hell was that? Spotify, okay. All right, Spotify, everyone just thinks that digital music is just here, right? Like, this is how it's always been, right? Metallica versus Napster. Yeah, remember that? Okay. Concord also could still be around if it came out in LimeWire era, perhaps.
Created by Sean Fanning, it wasn't just a program. It was a revolution wrapped in a sketchy user interface. Napster worked on a simple principle called peer-to-peer, or P2P network.
So I'm sure he'll explain it. But peer-to-peer is if I have all of my stuff and I start uploading it on my computer and then I open my computer up to other people to download that music, it's like me sharing, with it. Like back in the day, if I loaned you a tape, you could take that tape and you could record that tape and then have a copy of that tape, right? If I gave you a disc, you could burn that disc and you could have a copy of that disc, right? But companies started losing money and they're like, well, wait a minute, we're losing boatloads of money here because we're not selling. We didn't do the corporate salute, right? Now look at it. Now I make free content every single day. I'm putting free stuff out there every single day. And if people buy it, they buy it. If they don't, they don't.
Imagine a giant citywide potluck. Instead of one central restaurant providing all the food, every single person brings a dish and shares it with everyone else. On Napster, the dishes were MP3 files. Your secret stash of Metallica songs? Suddenly, thousands of people could have a copy. In return, you got access to their libraries. It was a digital free-for-all, and everyone thought it was glorious. Well, almost everyone. The music industry, however, did not think it was glorious.
Right. They didn't think it was glorious until they could monetize it themselves. Hence Spotify.
They were the fancy restaurant owners watching everyone eat for free at the potluck next door, and they were furious. The numbers were staggering.
Music revenue in the U.S. was sliced in half, plummeting from $14.6 billion in 1999 to just $6.3 billion a decade later. Now, just think about that. Corporate salute, they're like, wait a minute. The corporate salute was down here. They're like, wait a minute. We were making all this money, and they were projecting that they were going to make $16 billion or $20 billion or $25 billion.
According to the Recording Industry Association of America, or the RIAA, music revenue in the U.S. was sliced in half, plummeting from $14.6 billion in 1999 to just $6.3 billion a decade later. This led to one of the most infamous showdowns in music history: Metallica versus their own fans.
Yeah, forget the FBI. Lars is coming for you. Remember the whole thing here? It's crazy.
The band's drummer, Lars Ulrich, became the face of the anti-Napster movement, famously delivering a list of over 300,000 users who had shared their music to Napster's office. The industry's logic was simple. If you make something free and easy to get, people won't pay for it. So they sued Napster into oblivion. But it was like playing whack-a-mole. For every Napster that...
Yeah, you got rid of Napster, but then Kazaa, LimeWire, a bunch of them popped up, right?
they shut down, two more popped up, with names like Kazaa,
Yep.
LimeWire, and
Yep.
Morpheus. The war
Oh, I forgot about Morpheus.
was on. But Hollywood and the music label's next move wasn't to build a better product. Oh no, it was to punish the people who were actually paying for their stuff.
And this is what always blows my mind, right? Because the people that were stealing were so minute, but yet they had to punish everybody, right? They had to make it harder. It's sort of like what happens, I don't want to get political, but what happens with like gun rules and stuff like that, right? The people that follow the rules have to jump through more hoops, but the criminals just keep stealing the stuff and still get the stuff the same way they were getting before. But the people that run these businesses and corporations think that if they put more rules in place, less people, okay, will actually not pirate stuff. Instead of making a better product, they try every other way to fight it, even though the people still take the stuff from them.
Do you remember those ads? The ones on DVDs you couldn't skip?
They had to scare you. Remember what NFL does? If you record this, it's a $500,000 fine or whatever. No one's coming for you. They don't want you to copy it and then redistribute it out to other people is what they don't want you to do.
The message was clear. Downloading a movie was the same as being a common criminal.
That's right.
The problem was, the experience of legally buying a movie felt like a punishment. You'd buy a DVD, pop it in, and be forced to watch 5 minutes of FBI warnings and trailers for Adam Sandler movies you had no intention of seeing. The pirates? They got a clean, ad-free version instantly.
They had a better version. The pirates had a better version.
The entertainment industry's big weapon was something called digital rights management, or DRM. The idea was to use technology to restrict what you could do with the media you bought. It was like buying a book, but the publisher glues the pages together after you read them once, or they send a security guard to your house to make sure you're not letting your friends borrow.
Only Take-Two does that with Gearbox. Nobody else does that. Well, maybe Nintendo. Nintendo might do it as well.
It was,
Again, though, if you're making profit off of their stuff, that's the problem. If you're just sharing it with a couple of people, that's not the problem.
a word, annoying. Studies and tech experts have repeatedly shown what we all felt. DRM doesn't really stop pirates.
No.
Pirates are good at breaking locks. All DRM did was frustrate the honest paying customers.
Yeah, we had to jump through more hoops to just watch the thing you wanted to watch. So what did that make you do? Go pirated. What's happening right now in the video game space? There's so many correlations here. What's happening right now in the video game space, right? Broke, buggy, unfinished games, $80, $90, $120 games.
Sometimes pushing them towards piracy because the illegal version was just a better, easier to use product. This fundamental misunderstanding of the problem created an opening. The industry thought it was fighting a moral battle against thieves, but they weren't. They were fighting a service battle against a competitor who was offering a better experience.
That's exactly right. The better experience and convenience. Convenience is what makes us want to purchase the stuff or not. If you make it super easy to get your hands on, what's happening right now, chat? What's happening right now in the video game space? If you make it super easy to get my hands on your product, and I don't have to jump through hoops to get to your product, and I can download your product from any single thing, is that better than just that one thing that's negating me from buying it from that one thing? Right? And I'm talking about Microsoft, what they're doing to the video game space. Because if I can meet you at your television set, at your phone, at your computer, at your thing, that's the convenience factor. Okay? Simplistic, easy to get to. Doesn't matter where it is. I have it and I can play it there. Where the other people are like, you need this thing to buy the thing. And you're going to pay $80 in our ecosystem.
They were losing badly. They needed a savior. And that savior was a company that used to mail DVDs in little red envelopes. Enter Netflix. By the late 2000s, Netflix made a pivot that would change the world. They launched their Watch Instantly streaming service. Their CEO, Reed Hastings,
Like 2007, 2008, I believe. Or that mark.
understood something that the rest of the industry didn't. Convenience is the ultimate.
There it is. Convenience. Convenience is the ultimate weapon. There you go.
Weapon. People weren't pirating because they were evil. They were pirating because it was easy. You type a movie name, you click download, you watch the movie. The legal alternative involved driving to a Blockbuster. It was no contest. Netflix offered a third option. It was a massive, all-you-can-eat digital buffet.
A massive buffet. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Remember, the movie industry is about 12 years, 15 years ahead of what the video game industry is doing now. It's the exact same thing. What's happening right now in the video game space is exactly what happened in the entertainment space for movies and what happened in music as well.
And the price? It was almost an afterthought. For the price of a couple of coffees, about $8 to $10 a month, you got access to thousands of movies and TV shows.
Eric says, has your position changed over time, given your background with the industry? So before I was in the industry, Eric, I've told the story before. When I came up to college originally, before I went into the film industry, I used to use LimeWire and all this stuff all the time, right? Not until I got into the industry and worked and making films and stuff like that, where people would start downloading and stealing stuff. And I was like, they're not stealing money from me still, right? But as a person, I stopped pirating stuff because I knew how it worked on the industry now. They weren't stealing money from me, okay? They're stealing money from the pockets of the producers and the corporations because I'm still getting my hourly rate, right? I'm still getting my salary for that project or whatever it is. They're not lining their pockets bigger because I'm getting paid. I do the job. I walk away, okay? So I'm still getting paid. They're not undercutting me in any way, shape, or form. The reason it changed, okay, I still don't pirate stuff just because I understand that you're taking money away from people. But I also understand when people want to pirate stuff, they're going to pirate it. Okay. But the corporations, instead of pocketing $99 in their pocket now for each thing, now they're only pocketing $59 into their pockets. Okay. Which is an article we went over last week with Sarge, with Tim Kaine was talking about how digital goods were supposed to be less money, but the corporations started putting bigger profits in their pockets and weren't paying it forward to the customer. Okay. So this is where the whole industry kind of crumbles to me, because it's like, yeah, I'm still getting paid my $450 a day to do the job, and I only work there 10 days. I make my money, I go home. Okay? They're not going to undercut me. They need to do the project. On the back end, they're getting less money because now they're not making the $99 per person. They're only making $59 per person.
Instantly, with no ads and no sketchy downloads. A single $10 bill bought you
$10. Again, keep the alignment of what's happening with the video game industry right now. Game Pass came out. They had the $1 service. They had a $10 service. Now it's up to $30.
Entertainment paradise. The co-founder of the giant PC gaming platform Steam, Gabe Newell, summed it up perfectly. He said, "Piracy is almost always a service problem and not a pricing problem."
Exactly right. They don't want to make their service better, right? It's the pricing, right? They're like, oh no, we gotta fight this. They don't want to make a better product for you. They don't want to make a better product for you.
Problem. He argued that if you give people a service that's better than what they get from pirates, they'll happily pay for it.
Hence why Steam is so successful. Do people still pirate video games? Yes. But how many people are on board with Steam because of the stuff that they do? Because they're convenient, because everything's included, because they don't shit over the consumer, basically.
And he was right. The data was undeniable. In 2013, a report from the analytics firm Sandvine showed that as Netflix traffic exploded to make up nearly a third of all downstream internet traffic in North America, peer-to-peer file sharing, the engine of piracy, saw its share of traffic plummet.
There you go. Because Netflix made it easier. Remember, discs being mailed to you was very inconvenient. You had to go to the mailbox. You had to go back to ship it out. But then when it went digital, convenience. They're like, hey, you know what? This is actually pretty easy. I don't have to download a torrent and put it on my system and put it on my hard drive and move the hard drive over to my other, right? They made it super easy for you. Convenient.
We had a winner. For a few beautiful years, streaming was simple. You had Netflix, maybe you added Hulu for network TV shows. That was it. Your entire premium ad-free entertainment bill was less than maybe $20 a month. Piracy was becoming a memory. The war was over. We'd won. But in the cutthroat world of corporate entertainment, peace never lasts.
Netflix was there, and then all the other companies came in. Now look at the video game space. Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and Ubisoft Plus and GTA Plus, Rockstar Plus, whatever. They're all putting their own services. EA Play, they all did the exact same thing. Again, they're just 12 to 15 years behind of what's happening over here.
Other kingdoms saw how much gold Netflix was making, and they decided they wanted their own mountains of treasure. The golden age of streaming ended.
What are we at, 2018, 19 now?
The day Disney decided to pull all of its content from Netflix to launch Disney Plus. It was a declaration of war, the streaming wars. Suddenly, every company with a backlog of old sitcoms and B-movies wanted its own streaming service. CBS All Access became Paramount Plus. HBO launched HBO Max.
and then your cable bill that you got rid of, right? Your cable bill that you were paying $100, $200 for, whatever it was, you cut it so you could watch these things. But then they split all the stuff up, and then you were paying $20 per thing, and then your cable bill is basically the exact same thing it was before you cut it.
NBC launched Peacock. Apple launched Apple TV Plus. Amazon poured billions into Prime Video.
Now, again, I'm going to make the comparisons. Again, CBS, EA Play, Ubisoft Plus, Rockstar membership, blah, 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 right? Exact same thing, guys.
What used to be one giant, convenient library was shattered into a dozen expensive, walled-off stores. It's like if your one grocery store suddenly split into 10 different specialty shops.
I mean, personally, I prefer this. I don't like big box stores. I don't. I like specialty shops that if I want to buy meat, I go to a butcher, right? I go to a butcher shop. If I want to get a haircut, I don't go to a box store. I go to a barber shop, right? Like, I do all of this. This is how more people would have businesses, and more people would make money. But corporate salute, they're like, we're going to take all these things and put it underneath one roof, and we're going to take all the money from everybody else.
Now, if you want to make a sandwich, you have to go to one store for bread, another for cheese, a third for lettuce, and a fourth for meat. And each store charges you a monthly entry fee. That simple $10 a month paradise was gone. If you wanted to keep up with the biggest shows, you now needed a complex portfolio of subscriptions.
Right, and convenience is now getting a lot less convenient.
Want to watch Stranger Things? That's Netflix, which now starts at $17.99 for a standard plan. The Mandalorian? Add Disney Plus for $15.99. The Last of Us? You'll need HBO Max for $16.99. Ted Lasso? That's Apple TV Plus for another $12.99. Before you know it, you've gone from a simple $10 bill to a monthly bill easily topping $60, $70, or even $80.
Imagine that.
Often more than the cable packages we gleefully cut years ago. The cost quickly spiraled out of control. A 2024 report from Deloitte found that the average American household now spends $61 a month on streaming video. Many pay far more. It's become a part-time job just to manage it all. I personally have a calendar reminder to cancel free trials before they charge my card. My entertainment shouldn't require financial planning. But the fragmentation and the ballooning cost were only part of the problem. Something much weirder started happening. Shows and movies that you thought you had access to just vanished.
That's funny. Cry was just asking about will they take characters away from Marvel Rivals because it's getting too much and they just disappear. What's happening right now with Game Pass? Stalker, right? Obviously, it happens to all the other games. Games are on Game Pass. Third-party games are on Game Pass, and then they're not. Man, it's too close. It's too similar. It's the exact same business plan, man.
The most notorious example of this was Warner Brothers Discovery. To save money on a tax bill, they started a digital bonfire, deleting their own original shows.
Sony did this, by the way, too. Remember, Sony, we did an article, was it this year or late last year? Well, they just started removing content from the system, right? Again, the parallels are just amazing.
From their own platform, HBO Max. A massive, award-winning show like Westworld? Gone. Critically acclaimed series like Minx? Vanished. They even trashed the entire, nearly finished $90 million Batgirl movie, locking it in a vault forever, all as a cynical accounting trick.
The movie has tested so poorly that the studio behind it calls it irredeemable.
The promise of streaming was that everything would be available. The reality became that your favorite show could be erased from existence overnight.
Your favorite game can be erased from existence from a blink of an eye.
By its own creators. The convenience that had killed piracy was officially gone, and in its place was a complicated, expensive, and unreliable mess. The pirates, who had been waiting in the shadows, saw their opportunity. The wind was back in their sails. Today, piracy is booming because, for the pirates, piracy has once again become the best service. Think about it. The user experience for a modern pirate is actually incredible. There are sleek, well-organized websites that look better than half the official streaming services. They can use an app like Plex to organize all their stuff into...
How is it that pirates are making a better system than the systems that are out there? Let me rewind that for a second.
Actually incredible. There are sleek, well-organized websites that look better than half the official streaming services. They can use an app like Plex to organize all their stuff into their own personal, beautiful Netflix. It's searchable, it's all in one place, it works on every device,
and they never leave. They have all the movies. That means piracy. The people that have created their own sites, they just keep getting more value, right? More value. You want to watch a movie? More value. Because they don't remove it off the thing because it's being shared from peer to peer and whatnot. Yet the companies are like, it's Bungie and Destiny, like, we're just running out of too much space. We got too much space. We got to get rid of stuff.
And it never buffers. Most importantly, nothing
Oh, that's another thing. Netflix buffering. You pay for 4K. You don't get 4K.
ever disappears. The library
Let me
never
rewind again.
It's searchable, it's all in one place, it works on every device, and it never buffers. Most importantly, nothing ever disappears. The library only grows. The numbers back this up. According to the piracy tracking firm Muso, visits to film and TV piracy sites surged by nearly 13% in the first half of 2023 alone. Global demand is in the billions of visits. The industry has recreated the very problem they spent a decade fighting.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid. These companies are so stupid.
They took a simple, elegant solution and made it complicated and frustrating. The tech writer Cory Doctorow
You said it just a few minutes ago. The pirates are Steam and also corporations. They also get suck and have dumb, cheap streaming apps.
has a fantastic term for this phenomenon: in-shitification. It's
In-shitification. Okay, hold on a second.
Doctorow has a fantastic term for this phenomenon: in-shitification. It's the inevitable decay of online platforms as they shift their focus from serving their users to squeezing every last penny out of them. The streaming services are
I mean, we're going to use that from now on. The in-shitification of video games, where they're trying to squeeze out as much money as possible from you.
a textbook example. They lured us in with low prices and vast libraries. And now they're hiking prices, adding commercials, cracking down on password sharing, and fracturing their content. They're making their own product worse.
Do you see the business model of Microsoft right now? They are literally doing what the movie industry and the music industry has done. They've taken what they were. Obviously, they're going to make more money because they've all done it before, right? They're going to be the first ones in that market to do it. But in the process of doing it, they're making a worse product. That's why it's $30 a month, which is a worse product than it was when it was $10 a month.
And they seem genuinely shocked that people are looking for an alternative. It's a classic self-inflicted wound. So where do we go from here? Are we just stuck in this endless cycle of convenience and fragmentation? Is there any way to actually fix this mess for good? The history of digital piracy isn't really a story about technology or crime. It's a story about human behavior. And the lesson is incredibly simple. People will always choose the path of least resistance.
We say it all the time, chat. We say it all the time. Path of least resistance. Right? Water will find the lowest point and get through no matter what. Gamers will game, right? Path of least resistance. If you're a company that's trying to stop me from doing the path of least resistance, then you're going to lose.
For years, the entertainment industry tried to fight piracy with lawyers, scary ads, and frustrating technology. They failed miserably.
So we're not at this point yet, I guess, in the video game space. Lawyers, ads, right? So let me rewind this.
For years, the entertainment industry tried to fight piracy with lawyers, scary ads, and frustrating technology.
We're in this point right now inside of video games, right? We are right here right now. The lawyers are going to start coming out, right? The scary ads are going to start, and the DRM stuff, which is already here.
They failed miserably. Then, for a short time, they fought piracy with a better product, and they won decisively. Now, they've forgotten that lesson. They've made the legal path full of tolls, detours, and dead ends. So, naturally, people are once again taking the pirate's shortcut. This cycle will continue until the big media companies realize they are not in a war against the public. They are in a competition for our attention and our money.
And that's what we're doing for video games, right? That's exactly where we are in the video games.
And right now, they are losing to an unnamed, decentralized, free competitor that offers a better...
And this is exactly why the whole industry is trying to get digital IDs. This is exactly why they're trying to do what they do. Because if they don't get a hold of it and scare you to do what they want you to do, that's what happens. Okay? This is why they want the digital ID, so they can stop you from doing what you were doing here. But I'll tell you what, there'll always be a way around it.
User experience. The next time a studio executive complains about how much money they're losing to piracy, the question shouldn't be, how do we punish these pirates? The question they should be asking themselves in their own boardroom.
How to make a better product? Is that what he's going to say? How to make a better product? That's not going to happen. They're never going to admit they have to make a better product. Minimal viable product is what they do.
Is, how did we manage to make the illegal option the more convenient one again? If you found yourself nodding along at any point in this video, if you've ever canceled a subscription out of frustration or hunted for a show that mysteriously vanished, then do me a favor, hit that like button so more people see just how broken streaming has become. And if you're new here, subscribe, because this isn't the only industry pulling the same stuff.
Good video.
From housing to jobs.
It's a good video, even if it was AI created. I don't know if it was AI created. I don't.
Jobs to technology.
Okay. Well, there you go, chat. It's a good video. It's a good video. That is the video game industry. We are living in the exact moment what he explained about what happened with Napster, with the music industry, that happened with the movie industry and the television show industry, and now we're in the gaming industry. And the gaming industry is following suit exactly what happened back then 20 years ago. Okay? Here we are. We're living it. It's exactly what's happening right now. They're trying to make a closed ecosystem. Nintendo's doing those fucking game cards, and they just came out with that other they just announced their first, was it the Pokemon thing? Yeah, this one right here. Right? This one right here. Pokemon, Pokepie, whatever. It's first Nintendo's Game Key card release. Okay? They said their first party titles are never going to go. Right? You're going to be able to get physical disc. There's no physical disc for this one, chat. $70. This is the disc because you're in the ecosystem. That's the ecosystem now. Okay? Everyone says I'm always going to buy physical until you're not. Until you're not. And here it is. Until you're not. Right? So there you go. Well, it's the key card. It's the key. You don't own the game. The game is not on the disc. Cartridge, whatever it is. Okay? Amazing. Remember, chat, our new slogan here is, right, be a consumer, right? Be a customer, not a consumer. A customer, okay, a customer picks and chooses what they want to buy with their money because they're educated and know what that product is and if it's worth your money. A consumer blindly buys shit because they just love what the company does for them. The company loves me. The company is always on my side. That is a consumer. Be a customer. A customer knows what's good or bad. Do not buy the shitty products. Sarge says, eat me, Nintendo. It's not $80. Wow. No, it's not $80. It's $70. Robert Jones says, some AI slop is pretty good. They have a channel that makes Pokemon shorts in a style of the National Geographic. That's my whole point, though, Jones, from earlier, right? That's my whole point from earlier. If you're entertained by it, does it really matter? As a person, right? As a customer, do you really care? Feels Good says $109 Canadian for the new Mario Kart game. Jesus. It's because of the tariffs. It's because of the tariffs, Feel Good. Yeah. It's because of the tariffs digitally. Yeah. Oh, man. Amazing stuff. It's a good video. It's a good video. I saw it and come up on my feed. I watched the first 2 minutes. I was like, I got to watch this on stream. That's a good video. Not general knowledge. All right, let's go to Twitter. We got about 15, 20 minutes left. 12 minutes left. 12 to 15 minutes left. Let's see what's happening on Twitter. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, how Activision's trying to stop cheaters. Stop. It's just every year the same shit comes out, and every year it's the same. Let's see. Do you guys want to... If I show this, Nintendo's going to is going to hit me up afterwards. I'll just have to delete it afterwards. We'll watch the trailer. Let's watch the trailer, shall we? Let's watch the trailer. Is it gonna... No, not gonna work? All right, hold on a second. Let me go to YouTube. But they're gonna stop the cheaters this time. All turn. What is it? Mario Galaxy new trailer. All right, here it is. Well, there you go. The first movie was good. It was entertaining. Yeah, my son liked it. Remember, we had Super Mario Brothers live action. Yeah, it was terrible. We had it good. I don't know if that was good, Jay Breezy. I don't know if that was good. I don't know if that was good. It was entertaining. Good, I don't know about. I mean, I thought it was good. I didn't say great. I thought it was good. Let's see what else is happening on Twitter here real fast. Yeah, I didn't talk. I know Mo asked earlier, how was the PlayStation showcase? I was bored out of my mind, but nothing there interests me. But then again, it was a Japanese game show. But even that, I was just like, there's a monitor. You can get a monitor and some speakers. It was so terrible it was good. Oh, you're talking about the Mario, the original Mario at live action. PlayStation Plus new on game catalog. Here you go. You got a couple games there. You got Grand Theft Auto 5. You got Still Wakes the Deep. You got Insurgent Sandstorm. You got Pacific Drive. Thank you, goodness, you're here. And Talos 2. Now, remember now. Most of these games were already on Game Pass, and people are like, shit is trash. And now it's going to be on the PlayStation Plus, and everyone's going to be like, oh my God, it's such a good deal. Just remember, like, I'm not making fun of the people that enjoy these things. I'm making fun of the people that talk shit about one thing and then accept it when it's the other. Just so we know where we are. Okay? One person says it's garbage if it's on this platform, and then it comes to their platform like, this is amazing. This is amazing. Weapon bloom in Battlefield 6 RedSec will be fixed next week. Oh. Is that a month and a half afterwards? That's nice. That's nice. Fire GTA 6 devs are moving forward with legal challenges after Rockstar refused to meet. Stellar Blade 2 could come to Xbox and Switch 2. Stellar Blade could be coming. Interesting. No, that wouldn't happen, would it? I mean, it's just a rumor. It's just a rumor. Just a rumor. Let me see. Is it a rumor? Stellar Blade developers have revealed that they've considered expanding to other platforms, which could mean that ports for Nintendo Switch 2 and Xbox are on the cards. Uh-oh. Ba, ba, ba. Because you got to go where the players are. Because everybody's doing that. What else do we got here? Kingdom Come Deliverance has 4 million copies sold. Game Awards has said so. Eric says Rockstar will settle out of court and make the story go away. Altern says Stellar Blade on Switch 2. What this game going to be like 360p in order to run it? Perhaps. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yeah. The sequel to Kingdom Come Deliverance, it sold 4 million copies. Uh-oh, guys. Avatar, Fire and Ash is the longest one yet. It's 3 hours long. 3 hours long. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, 3 hours long. So it's the same length as the tour from Gilligan's Island. 3 hour tour. It's gonna be a really good nap, Dolphin. A 3 hour nap. That could be worth it. $10, $15 for a 3 hour nap? Sounds fantastic, actually. No interruptions. No one's going to be in the theater. Yeah, no, it's going to break $2 billion. It's going to break $2 billion. I said 1.9 is what I said. 1.8, 1.9. I think it's going to break just below 2 billion, because the first one was like 2.3, then it was like 2.1, or it was like 2.4, something like that. Or actually, was it? Hold on. Avatar. We looked it up like 3 weeks ago. Yeah, 2.92 billion for the first one, 2.3 billion for the second one, and I said 1.8 to 1.9 for the third one. I think that's what I said on the GXG. Whatever I said then is what I think it's going to be. I forget what I said, though. I think I said 1.8 to 1.9. $2.9 billion is ridiculous for the first one. I love watching the films in theaters. I did love watching them in theaters. It's like going on a field trip. You know, Avatar is 3 hours long. Avatar is going to be 3 hours long. Alrighty then. I think that's going to do it for us today, guys. Nothing else is over on Twitter. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. I do appreciate you very much. We'll be back this afternoon over on 30 and Still Gaming. We're going to be playing some more Arc Raiders with Mr. Luke. I think Sweat Dog will join us. I'm not sure. So we'll be playing that in about an hour or so. If I don't see you tonight or this afternoon, we'll be over tonight back on 30 and Still Gaming playing some video games with Sarge for shooting the shit with Sarge. And then if I don't see it for that, then we'll be back tomorrow morning for the Daily Grind, a Thursday edition. And then we'll be back tomorrow evening for Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening, or night, wherever you are. And I guess afternoon and night, wherever you are. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Up there again. Welcome to the world that never ends. Run, escape, open doors in no one. Browse a world where grinding was fun. Halo 2 brought online fight. Xbox Live, friends all night. World of Warcraft ruled the land. Raids and guilds, a global band. Guild Wars said no sub, just buy. Fantasy Star Online reached the sky. These five, Run, escape, Halo 2, Wild Guild Wars. Be it.
Always online, patching through time. Living worlds we buy and grind. Seasons turn, the loot rolls in. Every reset we log back in. From pixel towns to battle scenes. We're chasing live service dreams.
Legends, free to play reign, skins and champs, the money chain. Team Fortress 2 with hats on show. Cosmetic cash flow starts to grow. Destiny promise, 10-year plan. Shared world shooter for every fan. Warframe rising from the dust. Space Ninja grind you learn to trust. Hearthstone cards became a trend. Digital decks with no real end.
Always online, patching through time. Living worlds we buy and grind.
Events drop, the hype begins. Every update pulls us in. From mobile fights to cosmic scenes.
We're chasing live service dreams.
Overwatch squads and payload wars. Seasonal skins unlock the doors. Pokemon Go got us outside. Catching mons with AR pride. Fortnite drop, the island's hot. Battle Pass gold, the juggernaut. PUBG built the BR craze. Winner, gameplay stays. Apex Legends, squad-based flair. Respawn spin kept players there.
Always online, patching through time. Living worlds we buy and grind.
Seasons roll, the meta spins. Every patch we dive right in. From payload runs to battle scenes. We're
Chasing live service dreams.
Genshin Impact got to rise. Anime worlds beneath the skies. Call of Duty, Warzone fight. Dropping in each endless night. Final Fantasy second thrives. MMO King, it still survives. Roblox builds with endless play. User worlds lead the way. Marvel Rivals joins the show. Superhero squads all set to go.
Always online, patching through time. Living worlds we buy and grind.
From raids to drop, from skins to wins. Every era pulls us in. History told in data streams. We're chasing live service.